So, this is my first time reading Sarah J Maas reading vlog. I started reading Crescent City actually on Saturday, so in a second you'll see a little bit of me talking about that on Saturday. So you're doing a little bit of time travel here, but I wanted to do a proper intro. I've never read any Sarah J Maas, although I've been hearing about how amazing she is ever since I started watching BookTube, so I'm super excited to now finally be reading some Sarah J Maas. So like I said, I've started with Crescent City. I am buddy reading it with my friend Alison, and we are reading roughly 100 pages a week. It's going to take me a little while to read it, but I thought that you guys might like to see my thoughts as I go through the book.
I am about to start reading Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. I am going to do a proper intro where I don't look like I just got out of bed, which is what happened. But I just wanted to film I'm about to start reading it genuine, rather than doing an intro where I've actually already started it. So it's my first Sarah J Maas, and I'm really excited to see what I think. I have heard some people say that it's probably her best work yet, and maybe don't start with it because then you won't want to go back and read the others. But I personally don't think that's going to be a problem for me. So anyway, I am about to go and start reading that. I have my coffee brewing. It's quite early in the morning on Sunday. Couldn't sleep, so I figured let's just go get reading. Well, hello. It's later on Sunday, and I've just finished the 90 pages that Alison and I said we would read, and it's amazing. I love it. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. A little bit exposition-y and sort of info dumpy at the very beginning, but I honestly think that's probably a tricky thing to pull off, not being a little bit exposition-y when you're doing a lot of world building and stuff, but yeah, like I said, it was a little bit, it wasn't too bad, and it certainly wasn't the full extent of it. And yeah, I really like the characterization, and I was totally just like this when I was reading some of the stuff that happened. I know that there's quite a lot of people out there that have read the book by now, so I probably shouldn't worry too much about spoilers, but nonetheless, I don't want to spoil it for anyone that wants to read it, which I highly recommend. Tonight, Alice and I will be chatting about the first 90 pages, and then we'll read probably another 100-ish pages. We said 100 pages, but then we realised that it was the first part one was up to 90, so we'll see how much we read, probably another 100 or so, but yeah. Great start, and I'm looking forward to reading more.
So, I'm up to chapter 15. The last thing that I read was a chapter where Rune, which is Bryce's half-brother, it was from his perspective, and he was having a conversation with his father, and we learnt quite a bit more about the Fae in this world and how their political structure works, which was really interesting, and yeah, I enjoyed that. The more that we kind of learn about this world, the more interesting I find it and the more intrigued I am about what's going on. I really, really like the concept of the drop in this book. So basically there are a whole bunch of different sort of paranormal or supernatural beings that have come to, I think it's supposed to be Earth, but they've come to Earth and kind of taken over from humanity. So there's supernatural beings, so there's like werewolves, vampires, fairies, angels, wraiths, witches, all sorts of different supernatural beings. Yeah, so they are, I think I'm understanding it correctly, they are kind of destined to be immortal, but they're not actually immortal straight off the bat. And the drop is something that they do that makes them immortal, and it uses their particular race's power to sort of activate their immortality. So Bryce is half Fae, half human. It's intimated that she has enough Fae power in her, I guess in her blood. It doesn't actually say where, but somewhere physically in her body she has enough Fae power that she could potentially go and do the drop and she would not only survive but obviously then become immortal. And I find that really interesting, the idea that they're not automatically immortal but they have the capacity to be immortal, but they actually have to do something that could potentially kill them to activate that. I find that really, really interesting, and I'm really curious to see how that plays out in the book and what kind of meaning that has for the book. I really loved Danica's character, and I'm really sad that she died. I know that it's what spurs the action, so it's very deliberate, but yeah, I'm really sad that she died. I really liked her brashness. She obviously really cared about Bryce, but she was very brash and to the point, and yeah, I really enjoyed her character. Yeah, so I feel like I'm not really doing a great job of blogging because I'm not jumping on and going, oh my god, this happened, oh my god, that happened. So I'm going to try and be much better about doing that in the future, because as you can see, I'm not very far into it. I'm up to page 164 or something like that. Yes, 164. So I've got quite a bit left to go in reading reading the book and doing the vlog. So yeah, stay tuned.
So it turns out that Bryce has been faking being a party girl this whole time. Why though? Also, the club just exploded. Like, literally just exploded. What is going on here? And what's the deal with Rune? And what? Oh my god. So, the Chrysalis just attacked Bryce and Hunt. It nearly killed Hunt, but it didn't get Bryce, and then they managed to kill it. And it seems like Bryce has some kind of immunity to it or something. What is going on? Also, it looks like Sabine is the one doing all of this, which is just crazy. Hello. So, I'm up to page 324, and Hunt just went to visit the Oracle to find out why the horn is wanted. And apparently it's to open the rift between the worlds, which is pretty terrifying. If the demon that has been summoned to kill whoever he's been summoned to kill, or it's been summoned to kill, is anything to go by, then having the rift between worlds open will not be a good thing. So that's terrifying and exciting. So at the moment, yeah, Hunt and Bryce are getting along better. They seem to be kind of figuring each other out. There's definitely an element of the whole will they won't they sexual tension, which I actually like. As per usual, I always say this when it comes to romance, when it's done well, and I think in this instance it is done well. Hunt is definitely interested in Bryce. I don't think Bryce is admitting that she would be interested in Hunt, but she's not really admitting that she's interested in anything at the moment. She's still very much grieving. And I think that that's done really well. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it still. So that means I'm about roughly a third of the way through. Probably very close to halfway through. So it turns out that Max, who is one of my two friends who I'm supposed to be reading Get a Life Chloe Brown with, is actually finishing Crescent City. And that's why she hasn't started Get a Life Chloe Brown, which is, I just think that's awesome. I just love that. What a weird coincidence. But also, how much does that show that Max and I have still got very similar taste, even though we haven't lived in the same part of the world for like, I don't know, 10 years? That's pretty amazing. Anyway, I just read a few pages where Hunt found the little toy unicorns in Bryce's cupboard. I mean, it's just, I love it. It's so cute. She's such a little sassy badass, and then there she goes with these cute little unicorns. It's just, oh, it's so cute. I love it. It's adorable. Everything points to Danica doing something wrong. Also, the sexual tension between these two, oh my word. It's getting crazy. Oh my god. What just happened? Bryce went to the Medwitch to get her cut on her thigh healed from where the Chrysalis demon attacked her, and there was still venom in it. So that was bad enough. And then they got summoned to Micah because Hunt had attacked one of the wolves because of something the wolf did to Bryce. And then Sabine, the heir apparent, prime apparent of the wolves, demanded a punishment from Hunt, which was having his wings cut off. And apparently they grow back, but it's like horrible, horrible torment. And then there was some other stuff revealed about what Bryce did when, what's her name, Danica was killed. Just every twist and turn in this is just, what? Like, I never see any of it coming, and then I'm totally blindsided. Oh my goodness. This book is just incredible. And I just got a message of my friend, not the one I'm apparently reading this book with, the other one, saying that she's reading the end of it for the third time. So she's she read the book, then she immediately reread it, and then she's rereading the ending, and she's crying. Well, she said, "I'm not crying, you're crying," which means she's obviously crying, and that she's having Robin Hobb level feels, which is saying a lot because the Elderling series is one of mine and Max's absolute favourite series. So I'm excited and also not looking forward to that. Also, I've put every single Sarah J Maas book, well, no, that's not true, not the novellas, but every other full novel from both the ACOTAR and the Throne of Glass series on my Amazon wish list, because I am now full on Sarah J Maas trash. And so Max has also put all of Sarah J Maas on hold at the library. I think Alison's already read all of them, except for this one, obviously. Okay, I have to get back to the book now. Why is she hurting me like this? What can she do to me next? I've got about 170 pages left. And I know I'm gonna cry. Sandriel has ownership of Hunt now. This can only be very wrong. Very bad. Okay, so the last line I just read. I promised Fury not to do anything stupid. Bryce said, her eyes on Cyrix's branded out tattoo. I didn't say I wouldn't do something smart. What the hell is she going to do? I don't think it's going to be smart. I think it's going to be stupid. This now, Micah rocking up to talk to Bryce. I'm having to read like every single paragraph twice just to know what on earth is going on. How does that even work? It was Micah all along. Micah killed Danica, and Bryce is the horn. What? Well, the tattoo contains ground up bits of the horn. Not quite as weird as it sounds. Still pretty weird. He's doing the classic villain thing of telling all of his secrets and plans because he thinks he's about to kill Bryce. That's the only thing. Okay, at the very beginning I was a bit like, a bit info dumpy. That's the only thing that has been sort of typical so far. I'll allow it. He just fed the little chimera to the Nox that I can't even talk. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then she vacuumed him up. Oh my god, that's hilarious. No more Micah, that's for sure. So I just took a little break to cook dinner and eat it and watch a very intense and action-packed and exciting episode of Star Trek Discovery. And now I'm going to go back to reading a very intense, action-packed book. So we'll see how that goes. I just want to read you something. The wolves could bit the meadows in 3 minutes. 3 minutes through hell, through the slaughter and death. 3 minutes and a flat-out run, a sprint to save the most defenseless among them, the human children. The jackals joined them, the coyotes, the wild dogs and common dogs, the hyenas and dingoes, the foxes. It was who they were, who they had always been. Defenders of those who could not protect themselves. Defenders of the small, the young. Shifter or true animal, that truth lay etched in the soul of every canine. Ethan Holstrom sprinted toward Asphodel Meadows, with the weight of that history behind him, burning in his heart. He prayed he was not too late. It's just after 11 at night, and I just finished. And I'm very tired. I think I need to process what just happened before I talk about it, but I just want to say this was incredible. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. I finished it. I actually finished it a couple of days ago, but I sort of needed a little bit of processing time because, oh my gosh, the twists and turns and red herrings and surprises in this book were just incredible. I don't think it's fair for Sarah J Maas to play with my emotions like this. I also don't think it's fair that I read this in January and now I have 12 months to potentially not find a book I enjoy as much as this, but I'm up to the challenge. You saw how I reacted as I was going through. This book just was fantastic. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, there were a couple of little elements that at the beginning it felt a little bit info dumpy, and then when we found out what was happening, it was the villain doing a little bit of the villain thinks he's gotten away with it and so therefore tells everybody what he's actually done kind of thing. But it was still really amazing. It was still really interesting. The fact that it was the person that it was still completely blew my mind, and the way that his showdown with Bryce played out was just incredible. And then to find out that Alison was correct and that Bryce was actually Starborn and was actually like really powerful Fae, more powerful than her brother, even more powerful than her father, and the fact that she made the drop by herself and then came out and survived, and it was just really amazing. I really, really, really enjoyed this book, and I am super excited for the next one. I will be pre-ordering the next one, absolutely for sure. It's just wow. It's just wow. There were some sexy scenes that were done really, really well. All the twists and turns, like I said, were done really, really well. The action was just so well paced. It actually ended up only taking me like basically less than a week, and considering it's 800 pages long is actually pretty good. It was just one of those books you couldn't put down. So I am just hugely, hugely excited to have read this book. Highly recommend.
It's amazing. Like I said, at some point in the vlog, it turned out that my friend Max, who I am supposed to be reading Get a Life Chloe Brown with, was also reading Crescent City, so we were then talking to each other about it. And then also Connor was reading Crescent City at around the same time, and he just finished it last night and he was totally blown away by it. So I kind of ended up inadvertently buddy reading with like 3 separate people who weren't buddy reading with each other, which was pretty funny. And I was also kind of amused that Alison not so much, but with Max and then also with Connor, we were like messaging each other all caps. We were basically just yelling at each other like, oh my god, what is going on? I am not at all surprised that this was on so many people's favourites from last year, 2020, and I very much expect that this will end up being on my top 10 favourites for 2021. It was just incredible. So yeah, that was me reading Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas.
Hello, it is Editing Mel here. I did have a screen recording of the conversation that Alison and I had when we were halfway through the book, which I was going to insert into the vlog, but I didn't realise that when you screen record, it doesn't actually record sounds. So I am not including that. So instead, we're going to have a chat about what we thought of the book as a whole. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
How has your week been?
Well, I've just been undergoing hotel quarantine in Brisbane, moving up from Sydney to Brisbane to be with my partner. So 3 more sleeps until I am let out of quarantine.
Yay! That's
Yay.
exciting.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of time for gaming and reading while I've been here, which has been fantastic because we've managed to finish the book in a good amount of time.
I know, record time, right?
Absolutely.
And it was worth every record-breaking minute of it.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that when we got to the last quarter of the book or so, it was just like, let's just finish it.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine if we were trying to just do 100 pages a week through that last section?
No, we couldn't have. It would not have been possible.
No.
I'm like stoked. I love it when you have a book that you literally can't put down. Well, I mean, obviously you can, but maybe not literally. Figuratively, can't put down.
Oh yeah, it was certainly that at the end there.
Yeah.
It is such an epic ending there.
I know. And it's only the first book.
I know, that's the crazy thing.
What?
No, Sarah J Maas is really good at upping the ante in her book. I read her other 2 series. It's got the same sort of, what with the what now?
Every like the first bit wasn't slow, but the first bit was like, oh yeah, it's building, it's all good. And then the last third was just like, what the, oh my god. I was actually just watching someone's video about her best books of the year, and she had this on her list, and she's read the other 2 series as well, and she was saying that her experience with the other 2 series is that the first book is the slower, kind of more set up one.
Yep, I would agree with that.
She was like, so if it follows the same pattern, like, what are we in for?
Yes, that's very much oh my god, what the hell.
So I'm like extremely excited, but actually very nervous about the next one.
Are we allowed to talk spoilers in this?
Absolutely, yeah, I've been spoilery the whole time. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, the conversation that happened right at the very end of the book with the demon Adidas or something.
I think it was Adis or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Adis, that's
that guy.
And what's the name?
Was it?
No, it wasn't the Viper Queen. It was the... Wait, I'm just going to get
It was just Seba, wasn't it?
Seba, that's her name.
Her boss, yeah.
Yeah, because that indicated that's where the next book is heading.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something to do with the different things of hell and how that all works. But he also knew who Hunt's father was, and Hunt doesn't know who his father is.
Yeah, which is,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like absolutely, definitely want to talk to you about it, and it's been a few days. You'd think I'd be sorted, but I kind of feel like all I can say is, yeah, wow, yeah.
I know. As we were typing, like, oh my god. Did not see that coming.
No.
Oh, I did see that. I didn't see that coming and didn't see that coming.
So did you guess who it was behind it all along?
No, God,
Me
no,
neither.
no. I said in our previous conversation, I figured out that the witch that
Yes.
was probably going to be the Witch Queen because she was new in town and she had all of these interesting
powers.
powers and learnings that standard witches didn't have, and that hinted at it and going, oh, there's a new Witch Queen, so I'm like, yeah, I bet that's her. So I knew it was that one, and that was one thing, and I also thought that Bryce's drop might be something that helped with the reforging of the horn because of the whole light is not light.
Yeah.
So I'll happily own those two things, but the
Yeah.
rest of it, I did not see the rest of it coming.
You did amazing. I had no clue. I was like, I was reading it going, oh, she was right. Oh, she was right. Oh, she was right.
No, but that is because I have read, as said, the Throne of Glass and the Thorn of Court and Roses.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about how Sarah J Maas likes to layer things.
Yeah, yeah.
So she'll drop things in for a reason.
Yeah.
And she'll link it back like a lot longer, a fair time away, but you'll be like something like, oh, so that mighty character there, that's actually that. So that's why I thought, oh, there's suddenly the focus on this witch here after they've been talking about a witch queen.
Yeah, right.
That Rune, or however you pronounce his name, is like, his father wants him to marry her, and he's finding this witch queen attractive.
There's gonna be something there.
Something there. That's not random, but that's just because I've read the other two book series, and I just know how she
works.
So not to say that the exact same thing has happened in other books.
Yes, but she does that kind of setup. Yeah. Yes.
So it sounds like
something's going on there. I was really impressed with the way they did that though, because even though the way she did that, because even though you like kind of had an idea that would happen, it's still like the way that Hunt figures it out is very like, it's kind of like, it's clear that it's an important moment, but it's not like a big, in amongst all the big reveals, it's actually not a big reveal. It's more like Hunt just being like, hey, you look kind of familiar. Weird. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, but then there was also like the other, like as I said, there was so much going on at the end of the book, but even where I've got to mention, what's the witch's name?
Oh,
I can't remember.
No.
Yeah.
Hypaxia.
Yeah. So the whole conversation with Hypaxia when Bryce is in there to get everything out of her leg, and so Hypaxia is like, oh, you two have like a really strong connection. And then she said, when they were talking about the dark crown that he had, and then they said, oh, could you remove that? And she's like, well, technically I could, but what would you do if I did?
Yeah.
So it's got all of this setting up of the plot earlier on. It's one of the things I quite like about the Sarah J Maas books is they're smart.
Yeah.
Like there's you can tell that even if she's obviously planned some things, or she's gone back and layered things. But what is really interesting about when you're reading a series of hers is that's woven into a series, so it's not just in the one book.
Wow.
She'll occasionally link something back from a previous one where you're just like,
what?
It's like when reading Wheel of Time, for example, and there's a prophecy or a quote that they've referenced in one book, and then you see that happen like 2 books later, and you're like, hold on. Very well done. And it was a strong start to the year of like a book. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a tough one to.
I know. I feel like I've peaked. Like, what do I do now? How do I read other books?
But yeah, I did really like a lot of the characters in the book. And I got quite emotional at the end with Danica and also Labata.
I know. It was so upsetting.
I know. no!
And then I was so sad with Cyrix, and then obviously he was okay, but then everything that happened there, and then I was so worried the whole way when we found out that it was Danica that had done stuff. I was like the whole time like, but she can't, like, this is gonna destroy, like, Bryce will never recover. This can't be. So I'm very glad that it wasn't actually true. It was barely enough of a like band-aid to recover from all of the other crazy things that happened. Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
So, are you going to be reading some more Sarah J Maas this year?
Very possibly, yes. Yeah. Thank you very much for having a chat about everything. Bye.
Bye.
So, what did you think, guys? I really hope that you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.